Hello YouTube, this is Friendo with a quick rant here. This is brought on by the hubbub with Dakota Fanning. The picture for an ad that was pulled down, critics said it made her look too young and they're not comfortable with the concept of a young person being sexualized. And this is my short rant on this. I understand no one wants to come out pro-pedophilia or pro-sexual exploitation of children, and I'm not. There really wasn't anything provocative. This picture was suggestive at best. But I get this a lot. I see this a lot with the moral panic crowd, people like Bill O'Reilly or Gail Dines, in attempting to address some of the fetishes or some of the fantasies that exist in adult sexuality. They run the line to pedophilia, which is disgusting and which is a crime, but is not the same thing as a Lolita or a schoolgirl crush or fetish. And I would like to explain here what people are going through when they, man or woman, go through this schoolgirl fetish, the dressing up in uniform, putting on pigtails, trying to appear or act or behave or feel younger than you actually are. It is a common fantasy among people who have grown up to look back at their youth, back at their childhood, as something that they didn't properly appreciate. We get through life when we end up in a job that we didn't quite think that we would have, well below where we pictured ourselves being at the age of 30, 40, 50. We get through the day with our fantasies, with our little daydreams. We can look back at a time in our life when we were awkward, when we were uncomfortable, and when we didn't have the freedom to make our own choices, and say, you know what, if I went back there, if I was in that time, if I was in those situations, knowing what I know now, with the confidence that I have now, I could have had a great life. I could give up the freedoms that I have now in exchange for the safety that I had then. But I wouldn't want to be the child that I was back then. If I could go back as the adult that I am now, it would be such an amazing experience. I could go to high school, I could get any girl or any guy that I wanted, simply because now I have the confidence of an adult. I don't have the awkwardness that came with a childhood, teenage libido. How many people remember being in a situation when you could have had, well, sex or oral sex or a threesome or something, a makeout session? It doesn't matter how graphic or specific it would need to be, but you ever remember being in that situation and just chickening out, just running away because it was something so brand new? That's what people are attempting to recapture. That's what drives this fantasy, the schoolgirl fantasy. It's not pedophilia. It's not a sexual perversion that causes you to be attracted to young men or young women. It's simply wanting to get out of the stifling, joyless adult world that you can sometimes find yourself in and recapture some of the joy of being young. That's the fantasy. And I look at the moral panic crowd, Bill O'Reilly, Gail Dines, and the like, and I say, who are you to take that away from people?